Maido! Hi there, Japan fans. In today's show, we're going to talk about TED and presenting. Present or master shimasho. This is the 7th year of the Presentations Japan Series podcast, and we are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. And I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, plus Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de okane o muda ni suru no wa yamimashou, and all are available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you to become a better speaker, to be 1. Clear, 2. Confident, 3. Persuasive, and 4. Highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcasts hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series. And every second Tuesday, the Business Touches in no Oshie show. Wednesday, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcasto show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery show. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 322, and today we are talking about TED's advice on presenting. Chris Anderson is a curator for TED Talks, and so far there have been 1 billion views of TED Talks since they started 40 years ago. He wrote an article for the Harvard Business Review titled How to Give a Killer Presentation, which was published back in June 2013, and it still stands up well today. I've given a TED Talk myself, and so have had some exposure to the process and the rules they have around giving presentations. Let's look at the 5 key points from Chris's article. I will add my take, though, because the original article can easily be accessed for his advice in detail. Number 1. Frame your story, figure out where to start and where to end. There are 4 basic presentations we have to choose from: inform, motivate, persuade, or entertain. All of them will go much better if we had storytelling as a key component of the structure. In particular, potentially dry, informed types of talks can be brought alive by adding a story which highlights the facts. Going behind the numbers to the drama involved is always more interesting. Heroic tales of how the revenues were won against the trials and tribulations of the market, or despite the competitors' dirty tricks, rather than just stating the numbers, is a lot more gripping for an audience. The story requires a meeting of the audience, their mind's eye, and our tale. We want to get them to the spot where it happened, when it occurred, who was involved, what transpired, and what was the result. We have to explain things in a way in which the audience can see the scene we're describing in their own mind. That makes it so much more real for them. Number 2, plan your delivery. Decide whether to memorize your speech word for word or develop bullet points and then rehearse it over and over. Chris Anderson does mention memorization as one possibility, but actually suggests it is better to have points to speak to, and I totally agree. The memorization path is strewn with tripwires, steel traps, and squelchy bogs. Reading it to us is doom, be that off a piece of paper or from text on screen. So certainly email it to us instead of that very bad delivery idea. The key secret here is simple. Only you know what you are going to say. So if you mess up the order or leave a bit out, only you know that. And please, do us all a favour and keep such a piece of intelligence to yourself. I had rehearsed a talk for a convention audience as a closing speaker. And despite all of that effort, I was suddenly and inexplicably going from my point 3 to my point 5 while I was delivering it. It was like an out-of-body experience, observing myself departing from what I had rehearsed. Only I knew the order, though. So I just plonked point 4 down after point 5 and carried on shamelessly as if it was all part of the grand plan. Find out more. We come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses, but we also are doing custom in-house programs. We do them in both Japanese and English. We do them in our super safe classroom and live online. On the 3rd of February, we'll have our 12-week version of our Dale Carnegie course. On the 13th of February, we'll be doing the 3-day version of the Dale Carnegie course. And on the 25th of February, we'll be doing the English version of the Dale Carnegie course. So this is going to be quite a big February for the Dale Carnegie course with different varieties of the same content. On the 30th of January, and again later on the 27th of February, this time in English, we'll be delivering our high impact presentations program. On the 13th of February, and then later on the 18th of May, we'll be delivering our Leadership Training for Managers program. On the 14th of February and later on the 9th of June, we'll be doing our Winning with Relationships selling course. Go to our website at www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. That's www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Lots and lots of value there for you. To do better in Japan, email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching video, then we have nearly 2,000 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. Welcome back. Number 3, work on stage presence. But remember that your story matters more than how you stand or whether you're visibly nervous. Chris makes the point that jiggling the body around when speaking is distracting for an audience. Quite true. But some speakers can't help themselves. The adrenaline being pumped in the body by the brain, which was sensing fear, is such a strong chemical reaction they cannot control themselves very easily. The solution is to stand on the spot and don't move. Also do tons and tons of repetition in rehearsal so that you are so confident in your material you can order all the butterflies zapping around in your tummy to fly in formation. Look at the people in the audience who are nodding their heads or smiling in approval of what you're saying, and avoid all eye contact with those who look grumpy, adversarial, or negative. This will boost your confidence and help you control the nerves. Number 4, plan the multimedia. Whatever you do, don't read from PowerPoint slides. Yes, please don't read to us. Using photos is a bit of a favorite of mine because the audience can understand the photo in 2 seconds. And then I can add my spin to what this photo represents. When I did my own TED Talk, this was a technique I used. Number 5, put it together, play to your strengths and be authentic. Being natural and conversational rather than pontificating, lecturing or sermonizing is a good idea, as the audience can absorb the message more easily. None of us need a wannabe thespian or a Baroque orator for our next speaker. Using pauses is a good idea too because it is a natural phenomenon and it helps to direct your mind to what needs to come next. If the nerves are driving the speaking speed up too much, then a short pause gives you the break you need to redirect to the right speed. When presenting, some things work better than others. The good news is there are tons of resources to guide us on our quest. Using trial and error is an extremely bad idea because remember, this is your personal and professional brand, which you're exposing to the world every time you get up to talk. When I was preparing for my TED Talk, the thought that this talk of mine could potentially be accessed and assessed by millions of people scared the hell out of me. It made me rehearse like a demon on speed. I suggest we all do that for every talk, TED or otherwise. And when we do, we will do a much better job of it. Did you get value from today's show? If you did, then share the love around with your family, friends and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Until the next episode, go out there and apply the learnings from today and become a presentations legend amongst your circle. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week. Remember, I'm in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.